The Language of Shakespeare, a crash course on Shakespeare's linguistic characteristics. Learning objectives. The goal of this presentation is to introduce students to the beauty and intricacies of Shakespearean language. By the end of the session, students should be able to recognize some of the distinctive features and basic characteristics of early modern English, identify the use of iambic pentameter in Shakespeare's play, examine the use of allusions and figurative language within Shakespearean texts, understand Shakespeare's innovative contribution to the English language, including the coining of new words and phrases. Contents. Basic language characteristics, verse and meter, Shakespeare's love of wordplay, invented words and expressions. Partner discussion. What do you know about Shakespeare? Do you know any famous Shakespearean quotes or phrases? Have you ever read or watched a Shakespearean play? Is Shakespeare's language easy or difficult to understand? Do you think Shakespeare is still relevant today? A brief intro to be or not to be. William Shakespeare, 1564 to 1616, was an English playwright, poet, and actor, widely regarded as one of the greatest writers in the English language and world's greatest dramatist. In Elizabethan England, he emerged much like modern day storyteller, captivating diverse audiences, not just as a wordsmith for the light, but as playwright for the common folk. Packed with dirty jokes, epic insult, and creative wordplay, his works resonated with the masses and found stages both grand and humble. A brief intro, that is the question. But beyond the entertainment, Shakespeare played a pivotal role in shaping the English language we know today, with many words and phrases finding their written origins within the pages of his masterpieces. As his words echoed through crowded theatres, gracing even royal audiences, Shakespeare's legacy emerged from a period of profound linguistic transition. His plays are filled with many unique features that continue to captivate and challenge audiences today. Historical context. Elizabethan England. Elizabethan England refers to the period during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I from 1558 to 1603. This era is known for its flourishing cultural, artistic, and literary achievements. It marked the height of Renaissance in England, a time characterized by political stability, economic growth, exploration, and the flourishing of the arts. It was a pivotal time for the development of English literature, with William Shakespeare emerging as a prominent figure. Basic language characteristics. Early modern English versus contemporary English. Shakespeare's language features a rich and diverse vocabulary. Many words used in his works have either fallen out of common usage or have taken on different meaning over times. To appreciate and interpret early modern English texts, it's important to understand some of the unique features and linguistic differences to the contemporary English we speak today. Understanding these nuances in English language can help us to both comprehend and appreciate the depth and richness of Shakespeare's play. Let's start with the basics. Different pronouns. Early modern English used some different pronouns to the ones we use today. The first person I, me, my, and mine remained basically the same. But while the second person you, your, and yours were still used by Shakespeare, he also used other forms such as thou, the you subject singular. Example, thou and I are too wise to woo peacefully. Thee, you subject singular. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Here, you, ye gods, ye make the weak most strong. Thy or thine. Your, possessive singular. Example, to thy own self to be true. Did you know sometime Shakespeare used both the more modern you and the older thy in same speech. This is simply because in early modern England, the older generation said thee and thy to denote a status or reverence for authority. Therefore, when addressing a king or other royal, the original thou and thy would be used, leaving the newer you and your for more formal occasions. Verb conjugations. In Shakespearean English, verbs undergo specific changes depending on the subject and tense. Sometimes the endings of Shakespearean words sound alien, even though the roots of the word is familiar. The suffixes est and eth were used for verbs conjugations to indicate the second person singular, thou, and the third person singular, he, she, it, in the present tense. The choice between them was determined by the verb's root form and ending. Est, typically used with verbs whose root formed ending in t, d, est, ent, and other similar sounds. Example, thou lovest, you love, thou comest, you come, thou findest, you find. Eat, commonly used with verbs with other root forms. It was a more general ending for third person singular verbs. Example, he loveth, he loves. She speaketh, she speaks. It walketh, it walks. Common examples: to be, present tense, I am, first person, thou art, second person, he, she, it is, third person. To have, present tense, I have, first person, thou hast, second person, he, she, it hath, third person. To do, present tense, I did, first person, thou didst, second person, he, she, it did, third person. To go, present tense, I go, first person, thou goest, second person, he, she, it goeth, third person. Absent words. A key absence from Shakespearean English is the word don't. It simply wasn't around. The word do and did were also uncommon. This accounts for the unfamiliar word order in some sentences. Don't. If you wanted to say don't be afraid in Elizabethan England, you would say be not afeard. Today we say I don't think so, but Shakespeare would say I think not. The phrase don't hurt me would become hurt me not. Do and did. If you wanted to say does he have not If you wanted to say, does he not have a son in Elizabethan English, you would say, hath he not a son? Today we say, did she stay long? But Shakespearean would say, stayed she long? The phrase, did he come yesterday, would be become, come he yesterday. Match up activity. See if you can match the translation of the following terms: alas, adieu, a, nay, hence, wherefore, oft, when. No, unfortunately, from where, goodbye, why, often, yes. Answers. How many did you guess correctly? Interpret these phrases. Give what you have just learned. See if you can interpret the following phrases. First, whereof art thou Romeo, from Romeo and Juliet. Thou art as wise as thou art beautiful, a midsummer's night train. The lady that protests too much, methinks. Hamlet. This above all, to thine own self be true. Hamlet. How more thou showest, speak less than thou knowest. King Lear. Answers. O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Sound similar? The phrase is one of the most famous lines from the play Romeo and Juliet. It is spoken by Juliet in Act 2 during the balcony scene and is often misinterpreted to mean, where are you, Romeo? But in early modern English, wherefore actually means why. So, when Juliet says this line, she's not asking about Romeo's location, but rather questioning the reason he is Romeo, a a member of the rival Montague family. She's expressing her frustration and lamenting the fact that the person she loves belongs to a family with whom her own family, the Capulets, is in a bitter feud. Similar to saying, why must you be a Montague? Answers. Thou art as wise as thou art beautiful. The line is spoken by Benedict to a woman called Beatrice in play Much Ado About Nothing. The art is in a narrative way to say you are. It is a compliment that expresses his admiration for both her intelligence and physical attractiveness. The lady doth protest too much, methinks. The line is spoken by Queen Gertrude in Hamlet as she watches a play that closely mirrors the circumstances of her own marriage and her husband's murder. The line suggests that Queen's excessive denial of wrongdoings may be a sign that she is hiding something or trying to cover up the truth. Answers. This above all, to thine own self be true. Polonius gave this advice to his son Larius as he prepared to go abroad and display Hamlet. He is urging him to be true to his own principles and values. Have more than thou showest, speak less than you knowest. The line is said by the fool to King Lear as a part of a song. It encourages a person to hold qualities, skills, or virtues beyond what they openly display to the public and advises people to be selective and measured when expressing their thoughts or knowledge. In a sense, the line reinforces the value of substance over superficiality and warns people to exercise caution and wisdom in communication. Verse and meter. Iambic pentameter. One metrical foot consists of two syllables, an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable. Ta, tum. A line of verse consisting of five metrical foot, pant, meaning five, and meter, meaning rhythm. Da, dum, da, dum, da, dum, da, dum, da, dum. Iambic pentameter was a poetic meter used by William Shakespeare in his plays. It consists of lines with 10 syllables organized in five pairs of alternating unstressed and stressed syllables. This rhythmic pattern creates a flowing rhythm resembling the heartbeat of or the natural rise and fall of spoken language. It also gives Shakespeare's verse a musical quality, making it well suited for dramatic dialogue and soliloquies. For example, read the following dialogue taken from Romeo and Juliet aloud. If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle fine as this, my lips, two blushing pilgrims ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss. In each line, you can count five rhymes, making the line 10 syllables long. Each arm has an unstressed followed by a stressed syllable. It creates a rhyme all that sound like da dum, da, dum, da, dum, da, dum, da, dum. Why is it used? Rhythm Iambic pentameter mirrors the natural rhythm of English speech, making it sound conversational and easy to follow. This enhances the accessibility of the language for the audience. Formality. While iambic pentameter resembles everyday speech, its regular rhythm and structure pattern give the language a heightened and formal quality. This is particularly effective when conveying the gravity of dramatic moments or the eloquence of poetic expressions. Character. Shakespeare employs iambic pentameter in various ways to suit different characters. Noble characters often speak in more regular iambic pentameter, while lower class or comic characters may deviate from the restrict pattern to reflect their social statuses or personality. Shakespeare's love of wordplay, partner discussion. All the world's a stage, and all the man and woman merely plays. What figurative language featured and used in this quotation? What idea do you think Shakespeare is trying to convey? How might this relate to our lives today? Share your interpretations. A bit of content. The line is from Shakespeare's play As You Like It and is spoken by the character Jakes in Act 2, Scene 7. And this play, Jakes is a melancholic and reflective character. He utters these words as part of a long monologue comparing the stages of human life to acts in a play, each stage representing a different phase of life. The metaphor suggests that life is like a theatrical performance and everyone plays a role on this grand stage. The line underscores the idea that people, regardless of their status or importance, are participants in the larger drama of life. Shakespeare's love of wordplay. Shakespeare was master of wordplay, using puns, metaphor, and double entendres to convey multiple meanings simultaneously. His plays are filled with clever language construction that both entertain and challenge the audience. Among Shakespeare's many literary techniques, his love of allusion and figurative language stands out as a hallmark of his style, along with many unique expressions that he coined himself. From the reference to ancient myths to word From the reference to ancient myths to playful puns, Shakespeare's used to creative language features has added depth and richness to his writing, inviting readers to explore new levels of meaning and interpretation. Understanding illusions. Let's just start with Shakespeare's love of allusion. An allusion is an indirect reference to a person, place, or a thing, or an idea in mythology, literature, history, or everyday life. Shakespeare frequently used allusion and direct references within his work to enrich his dialogue and description with imagery to help audience understand his meaning. Types of allusions. The most common types of allusions you will find in Shakespeare's plays are mythological. References to mythological stories or figures, mostly Greek or Roman. Literary. References to other literary texts, characters, or folklore. Biblical. References to a religious stories or figures. Historical. References to historical events or periods. Allusions practice. I'll drown more sailors than the mermaid shall. I'll slay more gazers than the basilisk. I will play the orator as well as Nestor, deceive more slowly than Ulysses could. And like a siren, take another Troy. I can add colors to the chameleon, change shapes with Proteus for advantages, and set the murderous Michael to school. Can I do this and cannot get a crown? Tut, wear it farther off, I will pluck it down. The export to the left is taken from the play Henry VI, Part 3. In the scene, Richard, the current Duke of Gloucester, is alone on the stage speaking to the audience. He contemplates his life and decides to obtain the crown from himself despite the number of human obstacles in his way. The excerpt is taken from the last part of his monologue. Read the passage and identify allusion within it along with the type of allusion. 2. Research each allusion or use your own knowledge to provide a definition or summary of the allusion. 3. Consider how it contributes to meaning. Answers. Richard uses a range of mythological and historical allusions to boast about his ability to deceive, manipulate, and achieve his political ambitions through various means, including trickery and cunning. How many did you identify? Mermaids are mythical creatures, often associated with luring sailors to their doom. I will drown more sailors than mermaid. Basilisk. The basilisk is a legendary mix of serpent and dragon known for the deadly gaze. Nestor is a figure from Greek mythology known for his wisdom and eloquence. Ulysses. Ulysses or Odysseus is a hero in Greek mythology known for his cunning and deceitful tactics. Simon Troy. Simon is a character from Greek mythology who deceived the Trojans, leading fall of Troy. Proteus is a Greek god of the sea known for his capability to change shapes. Michael refers to Niccolo Machiavelli, known for his political writing, advocating cunning and unscrupulous behavior. Figurative language. Figurative language is a type of language that uses figures of speech to convey a meaning that is different from the literal interpretation of the words. It often creates more vivid imagery to convey ideas in creative ways. Shakespeare's vocabulary is rich in figurative language, and he uses Shakespeare's vocabulary is rich in figurative language, and he uses many throughout his plays to add depth and complexities to the meaning conveyed. Let's look at some common figurative language features employed by Shakespeare. Pun, a joke exploiting the different possible meaning of a word or the fact that there are words which sounds alike but have different meanings. Said by Mikotio as he is dying, "Ask for me tomorrow and you shall find me a grave man." Romeo and Juliet. Simile, a direct comparison of two things using the words like or as. I will say she looks as clear as morning roses newly washed with dew. The taming of the shrew. Metaphor, a direct comparison between two unlike things, stating that one is another or does the action of the other. If the music be the food of love, play on. 12th night. Personification, giving human characteristics to something non human, such as an object, animal, or abstract idea. The great white moon simile on the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with the streaks of light. Romeo and Juliet. Oxymoron. Oxymoron, a phrase that combines two words that are opposite or contradictory in meaning. I'll speak in a monstrous little voice. A midsummer's night dream. Hyperbole, a figure of speech that presents an overstatement or exaggeration for emphasis. Here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Macbeth. Analysis practice. With a partner, read the following phrases taken from Shakespeare's play. Identify the language features used and discuss the meaning conveyed. 1. You are 1,000 times a proper man than she, a woman, as you like it. 2. As flies to wanton boys are we to the gods, the killers for their sport, King Lear. 3. The web of our life is a mingled yarn, good and lit together. All's well that ends well. 4. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow. Romeo and Juliet. 5. Therefore the winds, peeping to us in vain, as a revenge, have sucked up from the sea a midsummer's night dream. Answers. 1. You are 1,000 times a proper man than she, a woman, as you like it. Idiom. The speaker is complimenting someone, suggesting that the person is not just marginally between some significantly even overwhelming superior in their personal qualities compared to the women in question. 2. As flies to wanton boys are we to the gods. They kill us for their sport. King Leo. Simile. The speaker compares humans to flies sweated by killers boys to depict them as helpless, vulnerable at the mercy of the forces beyond their control, suggesting that life is often subject to random and cruel twists. 3. The web of our life is a mingled yarn, good and altogether all wells that ends well. Metaphor. Decode compares life to a woven fabric, suggesting that life is a mixture of both positive and negative experiences, such as the coexistence of joy and sorrow, success and failure. 4. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow. Romeo and Juliet, Oxymoron. This dialogue reflects the bittersweet nature of saying goodbye, as parting brings a sense of sadness and reluctant to let go of the moment, but there is also sweetness and hopeful anticipation of a future reunion. 5. Therefore, the winds, peeping to us in vain, as in revenge, have sucked up from the sea a midsummer's night dream. Personification. The winds are personified as they are playing musical instrument to the cause a disturbance as a form of retaliation. Invented words and expressions. Invented words. William Shakespeare not only gifted us with his timeless works of literature, also contributed significantly to the English language. The impact of Shakespeare's linguistic creativity is undeniable. He is credited, he is credited with coining and or popularizing over 1700 words that have become an integral part of our modern day language. He did this by changing nouns into verbs, changing verbs into adjectives, connecting words never before used together, adding prefixes and suffixes, creating completely original words. Keep in mind, it's important to note that while Shakespeare is often credited with popularizing or contributing to the development of various words, pinpointing the absolute earliest written form of a word can be challenging due to the evolving nature of language. Many of these words and phrases will likely have in common use during the Elizabethan and Jacobean era, but were not written down prior to Shakespeare using them in his plays. Shakespeare was the first known person to document these words in writing, and his plays provide the earliest citation. It's not surprising it's not surprising that many phrases from his plays stuck in the popular consciousness and embedded themselves into our everyday language. Some examples. Here are some words that believed to have appeared in written form of for the first time in Shakespeare's work. Here are some words that are believed to have appeared in written form for the first time in Shakespeare's works. Swagger, all a midsummer's night dream, assassination, Macbeth, king, as you like it, luggage, King Lear 4, luggage, King Henry 4, bedazzled, a taming of the shrew, bedroom, a midsummer's night dream. Invented expressions. Not only did Shakespeare invent new words, but he is credited with coining and popularizing numerous expressions and idioms introduced in his plays and sonnets that have become ingrained in English language. 4 centuries after his death, we are still using many of them in our everyday speech. You have probably quoted Shakespeare thousands of times without realizing it. Let's take a look at some common phrases and idioms we owe to Shakespeare. Some examples: all that glitter is not gold, merchant of Venice. Not everything that appears valuable or attractive is necessarily worthwhile or genuine. The world is your oyster. The Merry Wives of Windsor. The world is full of opportunities for you to take advantage of. Star-crossed lover, Romeo and Juliet. Used to describe a romantic couple whose relationship faced significant challenges or obstacles beyond their control. Green-eyed monster, Othello. A metaphorical way of referring to jealousy or envy. He has eaten me out of house of him. Henry IV. Someone has consumed a large amount of food, depleting the household's food supplies. Wild goose chase, Romeo and Juliet. When someone is engaged in a task that is unlikely to succeed, or achieve the desired outcome. Explain the idiom. See if you can explain the meaning of this idiom that were coined by Shakespeare. Break the ice, trimming of the shoe. 2. The cloth make a man. Hamlet. 3. I will wear my heart upon my sleeves. Othello. 4. I must be cruel only to be kind. Hamlet. 5. What's done is done. Macbeth. Answers. 1. Break the ice, taming of the shrew. It refers to the act of starting a conversation in a new or awkward situation. 2. The clothes make the man. Hamlet. The idiom suggests a person's appearance and attire significantly influence how they are perceived by others. 3. I will wear my heart upon my sleeve. Othello. The phrase means openly displaying or showing one's emotion, feelings, and vulnerabilities. 4. I must be cruel only to be kind. Hamlet. The phrase expresses the idea that sometimes, in order to help someone or promote their long term well being, you might need to take actions that seem harsh or unpleasant in the short term. 5. What's done is done. Macbeth. The idiom conveys the idea that once choice or action has taken place, it cannot be changed. It suggests acceptance of the past and the recognition that consequences are now inevitable. Let's finish with Shakespearean insult just for fun. You starveling, you will skin, you tried neat's tongue, you pulse pizzle, you stock fish for breath to water. What is like thee? You tell us yard, you shed, you bouquets, you well stand talk. Henry for Part 1. Shakespearean insults. Another unique aspect of Shakespeare's writing that has captured the attentions of his scholars and audiences alike is his use of insults. From witty banter to brutal verbal sparring, Shakespeare's insults are often masterpieces of creative language and wordplays. Shakespeare's unique insults were not only entertaining but helped create memorable scenes, build tension and conflicts, reveal details about his characters and their motivations, while also exploring the complexities of human behavior and relationships. Keep an eye out when reading his plays for some of his epic buns. Rate the insult. To finish on one note, decipher each of the following phrases using your knowledge of basic vocabulary, then decide where each of the insults fall on the scale from mild to the savage. 1. I'm sick when I too look on thee, a midsummer's night train. 2. The art a weary rigged what? Henry Ford. 3. A most notable coward, an infinite and endless liar, an hourly promise breaker, the owner of no one good quality. All's well that ends well. 4. I'll beat thee, but I would infect my hands. Timon of Athens. 5. The rankest compound of villainous smell that ever offended nostrils. The Merry Wives of Windsor. 6. Thou tamed and luxurious mountain coat. Henry V. 7. Thou art boil, a plague sore, an embossed carbuncle in my corrupted blood. King Lear. 8. A pox, oh, your throat, you bawling, blasphemous, uncharitable dog, the Tempest. I bid you to farewell, friends. In closing, Shakespeare's unparalleled creativity with language is evident in his love of figurative language, melodious verses, inventive word choices, unique expressions, and overall mastery of linguistic devices. His plays not only serve as a window into the cultural and historical context of Elizabethan and Jacobean England, but explore many universal and timeless themes such as love, power, jealousy, ambition, and other aspects of human condition. Shakespeare's enduring legacy is seen in the profound impact his works have had on language, literature, and the understanding of human experience across centuries. I hope you have discovered that Shakespeare's language is not a barrier but a gateway to a realm of timeless stories and profound insights. Farewell, and may your own stories be told with the richness and flair of the greatest playwright in history.